Good evening, my friend. Welcome to WDW Radio Live. I am Lou Mongello, and tonight, as always, is my favorite night of the week because I get to spend and share it with you. If you are watching live, thank you very much for being here. Please tag and invite a friend, and if you're watching on the replay, join us. Not always here, sometimes out there, sometimes in the parks, mystery locations, D23, every Wednesday, except during D23, at 7:30 p.m. Eastern here at WDW Radio Live. If this is your first time watching, thank you for being here. Please let me know where you are watching from. And your question of the night is, I'm starving, so it's probably going to be food related. What is your favorite beverage? You can all answer this. What is your favorite beverage in Walt Disney World? If you just need something like cool or hot to drink, what is like your favorite Disney specific beverage that you look forward to every time you go? I need to put on my glasses or otherwise I cannot see your answers. So good to see familiar names and faces as well as some new folks here. It's always going to be the box, but it really is the WDW Radio Clubhouse because this is where we as friends get to virtually gather each week. I did an interview yesterday and whenever I do interviews, I talk about you individually, specifically, not you like at home because that's weird, but just how important. I said, the podcast is sort of the heart of what I do, but this, the Clubhouse and you is really the soul. It's the reason, it's my why. You are my why. It's why I do this. And as much as I love doing the podcast, there is something about this live interaction and making and meeting new friends and getting this real-time response from you, either talking about this week's show, what's going on in Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, and sometimes, if you've been here before, the conversation isn't even about any of that. It's just friends getting together, and I think that's the beauty of what this is. So if you haven't, tonight, like I said, is all about you for a number of reasons. One, because I want to be here for you to answer any questions that you have, and today just got away from me. Like, I was honestly scrambling. That's why I didn't get a newsletter out yet. It's why I didn't get an announcement up earlier today. I've been at my desk since like 6:45 this morning. And yeah, it just sort of got away. But thank you again for being here. Sunny Days, I'm not sure if that's your real name or not, but I dig it anyway because I just dig the positivity in your name. Dave Brookover, nice to see you. I've known the Brookovers like forever. I think it's basically forever since I very first started this. And again, like I said, a lot of familiar names. Brett Bowen, always good to see you. Hello from all the Jacksons in Leawood, Kansas. Amy, nice to see you. Disney's Magical Journey, where in New Jersey are you from? And what is your favorite Jersey eat? Like, the question I get all the time is like, do you ever miss anything from Jersey? And I'm like, yes, it's the fall and it's Giants games when they're winning. And it's the food. Like, I miss specific food items. So what is your favorite Jersey food? Jeremy Buck, I say this every week, man. I message you and then I lose, like I fall apart. Like, I figuratively fall apart. It's just been a crazy week. I promise you, I swear, as soon as I'm done tonight, I'm going to message you. Nick, who's watching on YouTube, says I'm watching from Bradenton. Sprite. I'm not sure who or what is Sprite. Is it like your nickname? Is it your dog? Is it like your superhero name? Chandler Bainter, nice to see you as well. Let's see, we getting Suzanne Armstrong says Beverly. Like, does Suzanne really go, I could, Mike, I need a little something to drink. Can we run in and get a little free? Maybe it's because it's free. Maybe that's the reason why. Joffrey's Coffee on the way into Epcot. Spiked, of course, a Shandy from the Rose and Crown. If I'm adulting, Dole Whip Float. If I am kidding around, says Matthew Woolley from Married to a Disney Addict, who you may or may not recognize from last week's show where we talked all about I'm still going to call it Expo because it's just a lot easier. Water for hydration and a nice frosty root beer. God, man, can you get root beer anywhere in Walt Disney World? They call it sarsaparilla now. Other than Carousel of Progress, can you get root beer anywhere in Walt Disney World? A grapefruit Schaffenhofer beer. Margaritas in Mexico. Mike, this is like any margarita. Anything that basically has tequila in it and comes in a glass with a rim is fine for him. Jeremy says nothing beats an ice cold Coke on a really hot day. Jeremy, I'm not a big soda drinker. I don't remember the last time I had a soda, but when it's super hot, like a frozen Coke, you're right, man. That's nice right there. Tim Moore, I refuse to answer that question because it's just a hurtful Saquon Barkley question. So, Zachariah Brown, it's not his real name. Twisted Fig, I don't even know what a Twisted Fig is, although I have seen you at Steakhouse 71, and chances are you ordering. What is in a Twisted Fig and a Timeless Elias, and when are we going to get together and share one of those? Hit me up, brother. Let's get together. Yeah. And chat soon. Morgan says, been a while, took a little hiatus. Like, Morgan, did you take a hiatus from me? Like, Lou and I just need a break, which would not be the first time a woman's ever said that to me. And usually the breaks last forever. But happy to be back with the Box People. Can't wait for the D23 and the Halloween cruise. D23, like, it's 2 weeks away. Insert yikes here. We'll see how ready I am when I actually get there. The tea from All-Star Resort. So when you say the tea, do you mean like the iced tea, or am I missing something? Is there some like secret tea? I'm a tea drinker, although I'm drinking my Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee, which has fortunately lasted me all day. Carol Rothenberg is watching from northern Michigan on vacation in one of the most beautiful areas of the state. I hear it's gorgeous up there, like even in the heat of the blazing summer. A royal watermelon is made. So is a royal watermelon just like one of the free tap drinks, or is that some sort of like secret menu item behind the counter? John Goldie says, what up, Jeeves? We will call tonight. Ask. You can ask. I am not Jeeves, but you could ask. So Nick was just answering this question about what he likes to drink, and it's Sprite. For Jersey food, a good BEC. I'm going to say that's bacon. Bacon, egg, and cheese. It takes me a second on an everything bagel. I'll see your bacon, egg, and cheese. I will raise you a pork roll, egg, and cheese with salt, pepper, ketchup on an everything bagel. Watching from the Princeton area. Grand Marnier slushy from France. Jerry Dusenberry, good to see you, brother. Hope to see you. Am I going to see you at podcast? Am I going to see anybody at Podcast Movement? Yikes, that's like in 3 weeks. I really have to get my session. I'm speaking at Podcast Movement. I'm going to talk a lot about you, not you, Jerry, specifically, but you, the clubhouse and the community. I'm talking about relationships. We are in what I believe is not the gig economy. It's not the the internet economy. I think we are in the world of the relationship economy. And I'm going to talk about building and maintaining and fostering relationships to help you build your business and brand. You probably don't care, but I went off on a quick tangent. Anyway, Carol now wants a margarita. I think you're probably not alone. Andrew Prince, nice to see you. Looking forward to seeing you and your mom at the aforementioned D23. Giovanni Baldino, the Tiki Rum at the Grotto. The Grotto? Where is the Grotto? Like there was an Ariel's Grotto, but I don't think she served. Why am I missing what or where the Grotto is? Hey, Stephen Williams, how have it been? Wish I was going to D23. Dave and I will be doing the treasure. Oh, brother, I hope I could see you on the treasure. It's been too long, my friend, and I probably would not recognize David at this point. Morgan says, a break from Lou? Never. Just maybe a break from the internet or Facebook, which is not a bad thing. Rachel says, hubby says, Pog Juice. Somebody told me that they sell Pog Juice like at, is it Publix or Costco? Like you can buy Pog Juice like off the shelf now. Let's see. Well, when is the next meet of the month? I am a horrible person. My intent was to make the meet of the month this Sunday. I had the graphic ready. I had the event ready. And literally right before I hit the publish button, I was like, Rutro, I can't do it on Sunday. And next thing you know, July is over. And then I'm right into August for Expo, and then from Expo to Podcast Movement. From Podcast Movement, I'm right into Momentum Prep. I literally might have to make the next meet of the month literally like midweek. I'm so sorry. I know it's been a couple of months. I promise I'm going to try and get one as soon as possible. Jerry Johnson, can't wait to see you at the D23 fan event. Any hints on the booth? Yes, we will be in the WDW Radio Mouse Fan Travel again, collectively on the Emporium, on the show floor. I think you're asking me if I have any clues about our very larger than life balloon sculpture this year, but no, I have no, although Becky's not here, I could tell you, but no, I have no hints to give you other than it is Disney related. How's that? Minnie signed up for the Adventures by Disney next July out to Disneyland in Southern California. The Jim Henson Studios are going to, if you are a Muppety person, which I think we all are deep at heart, like Sesame Street, Muppets, whatever it was, you're gonna laugh, you're going to cry. It is going to be such a wonderful, the things you are going to see on this Adventures by Disney, I promise you, wherever your heart in Disney fandom lies, there's going to be something for you, whether it's at the archives, the studios, whether it's at Jim Henson, Imagineering, maybe a few other surprise places that I'm not allowed to tell you about. I promise you, you are going to have at least one of your very special, very memorable moments. The grotto, like as in Trader Sam's grotto. Mongello, hi, I'm Lou. I talk about Disney for a living, or at least I used to. Sorry, man, it has been a long, long day. So, let's see. John Goldsby, we're all paid up for the October cruise. So looking forward to some cruising. Lookout Point, here we come. Lookout Point, here we come. Castaway Key, here we come. Cabanas, I got my eye and my heart and my tummy set on you. And costumes are ready. Costumes are ready. And by costumes, can I wear a costume? Can I go to dinner in costume every night of the cruise? I don't see why not. I'm already a laughingstock. So what would be the difference if I just showed up in costume? Not all Disney. Actually, wait. As the three that I have picked out now, two of them have absolutely nothing at all to do with Disney. And there may only be one or two people that get the reference. They're very clearly distinctive. If you know, you know, but if you don't, you're going to be like, what is he wearing and why is he not institutionalized? Because he is a lunatic. So that being said, I love Halloween. I love cruising. I love cruising together. So I am very, very, and I love the Disney magic so much. I love the smaller ships. I love the classic ships. So I cannot wait. Although I will tell you, what's in the box. I have a huge box sitting here that I just got today that I never do unboxing videos, but I think tomorrow, I know I sort of have an idea of what's inside, but I don't know the specifics. I know what it's about. I think tomorrow I'm going to do a quick little unboxing. I was going to do it tonight, but I'm like, nobody's going to sit through and watch me unbox unbox something for 10 minutes. So I'll do a quick little video tomorrow, but I do believe it is cruise related and there are goodies and surprises inside, because next week we're going to get a not one, not two, but a 3-day reveal of the Disney Destiny. Disney's never done this before. I've never seen them reveal something over a 3-day. I am very curious to see and hear what they have planned. So, let's see. We are going in costumes or bounding of course you are, Starla. It's one of the many reasons why I love Starla. Lou's dressed up as the fog monster. First of all, it's the smoke monster. Let's get it right, Zach. And I didn't even think about going as somebody from Lost. But nobody would get it because I would look sort of just the way I look normally. Unless can I get a Dharma jumpsuit? Yes, I'm literally writing this down. Dharma. I'm never going to be able to read my own handwriting. How did I not think about dressing as somebody from Lost on the cruise? Deborah says, I recently did the ABD 3-day Southern California escape, and it was definitely one of the best memories of my life. I would do it again in a heartbeat. That speaks volumes, especially with something that is 3 days. I know they pack a lot into the escapes. The Adventures by Disney that we're doing is longer. They're 7 days, so I cannot wait. On the Disney Wish, must do, must eat, 1923, 1923, and 1923. You must get the tuna appetizer, and you must get the steak. I think the food at 1923 is the best food on Disney Cruise Line. Period. End of sentence. End of story. I do have my tickets for Deadpool and Wolverine. I couldn't get them for tomorrow. I have a conflict tomorrow night, but I am going on Friday, and I cannot wait. I have not been spoiled, nor will I be, because I am not watching any of this and any stuff on social. I am really sort of avoiding it like the actual plague because I don't want to be spoiled. But I have heard nothing but good things, and I've heard that it's very, very, very funny. So will Deadpool save Marvel? We shall see. Kate says, what are the dates of the cruise? Kate, I'm happy that you asked. I'll be happier if I can find the logo. There it is. Our Halloween on the High Seas cruise, and we do still have availability, is October 21st through the 2026th, 2024. So it's 5-night Castaway and Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point out of not Port Canaveral, out of Fort Lauderdale. And we also, our cruise on the Disney Treasure is in February 8th through the 15th. If you want to find out more about either of those and get a free no obligation quote from our friends over at Mouse Fan Travel, you can visit WDWRadio.com/cruises. Or if you have a Mouse Fan Travel like Sue Passauer, who happens to be in the room right now, you can just reach out and let her know the Halloween on the High Seas cruise is going to be so much fun. Bring on the chicken tenders. Maybe I should have my costumes like taken out. No, what I need are like stretchy elastic bands on my costumes. This way, as I consume my chicken tenders, which I still look forward to, I'm a very simple man, it'll still be able to fit. So just right, not Penny's Boat. Nice pull, Zach Brown. God, now you're gonna make me start to watch Lost again. By the way, the Ask Me Anything has already started. So if you want to ask me anything, now is the time, and now is the best time. Could we see a fifth park announced at D23? Scott, I think anything is possible. I can talk myself in or out of a fifth gate announcement very easily, because in some regards, it makes absolute sense to do that. People might say, well, you have to announce a fifth gate because Epic, and nothing that you can build within the four corners of the existing parks is going to match what's happening over at Epic Universe. You certainly could make that argument, but is now the time for? I don't know. I can like I said, I can find myself easily arguing either way. I think if they do, that would be one of those jaw-dropping moments that I think we have to have at Expo this year. I just don't. I mean, unless they say, look, we just got the rights to Marvel and we're building an entire Marvel theme park. Which, can you do that? Would you do that? I'm thinking out loud. Yes, I would like. I would like that very much. Heather, I am wildly shocked and incredibly excited that Deadpool is coming to Avengers Campus. Obviously, he can't talk. Like, I cannot imagine a scenario where they will let Deadpool talk in Avengers Campus. But if you would have told me, when the first Deadpool movie first came out, that there would be a scenario where Deadpool would be a walk-around character, I would tell you that you are crazy, and yet here we are. Phil says, when are we going to get a Trader Sam's deep dive? Let me know if you need help. Phil, it's interesting. Have I done a Trader Sam's deep dive? I have not. And if you think you're the guy, Phil, reach out, let me know. Pitch me why you are the guy. You are the Trader Sam's guy. Just shoot me an email and let me know. Jeremy says, Sue is the best. She's helped my family plan a few of our best Disney trips ever. Jeremy, I believe that. You are not the only person to say that. Sue is one of the many exceptional advisors over at mousefantravel.com. And I've known her and her family for years and years and years. So And she's just good people too. Don't tell her I said that. Kelly says, dress as a chicken tender. Favorite dinner location on the Magic. My favorite dinner location on the Magic. So, okay, wait. I want to make sure I have because I always get the names of the rotational dining restaurants wrong from ship to ship. So let me make sure I've got them. I will tell you that Royal Table is usually not, so it's Narrator's Palette, Lumiere's, or Royal Table. I'm going to say it is Rapunzel's Royal Table. I love the theming. I love when they have the show there, especially if you get a really good seat, sort of like front and center. Plus, I think the menu there is probably my favorite as well. When will the traffic between 27 and Lake Buena Vista be fixed? I-4 in the Disney area is the absolute worst. Michael, my honest answer is probably never. It's like I left New Jersey 16, almost 17 years ago. When I went back a couple of years ago, the same highways that literally were like under construction being repaired were still being repaired. I think it's just like an annuity. So it just goes on forever. I don't think it will ever be done. As long as I've lived in Orlando, I-4 and the surrounding roads have always been under construction, and I don't think that will ever go away. So, is there a meetup in Anaheim for those who can't get to the expo? Deborah, it's funny. I tried to find a scenario where I was able to do that, and because of the schedule and the dynamics of it, I'm setting up Wednesday and Thursday. I've got other sort of events and commitments during those 2 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday are obviously taken. A lot of people go back Sunday night. I am going to be there on Monday, but I just didn't think that was the right time to do it. So if you are going to be at D23, we are going to do a family photo on Saturday at our booth at 2:00 p.m. So if you are there, please add this to your schedule and come by. And you never know what sort of like gadgets and gizmos and trinkets or whatever I might have in store if you show up. Actually, it just came in the mail, and there's something right there for you. For anybody who comes for the family photo, I will have something for you. Nathan says, let's see. You mentioned Muppet Studios ABD. If I could have any piece of memorabilia or prop from the studios to add to your wall or home, size doesn't matter, what would it be? Oh, Nathan, that's a great question. So if you mean anything from the Muppet Studios, if I could have anything from the Muppet Studios and bring home, what would it be? Gosh, I'm thinking like now to my childhood, watching the Muppet Show, or even watching, I guess it would have to be, it would have to be a Kermit puppet, right? Like it would have to be like an original Jim Henson used Kermit puppet from the original Muppet Show, right? One of the really, really early ones. Which I have not seen. I hear that the Henson documentary is amazing on Disney Plus. It's on my list. I just haven't had a chance to get to it. Jeanette Sanchez says, what is your favorite ride in any Disney theme park? Mine is Test Track. Jeanette, that's a great question. I'm going to give you the recovering attorney answer because I love the classics, right? I love the Haunted Mansion. I love Peter Pan. I love Phantom Manor in Disneyland Paris. Like, I want to say it's Mystic Manor, but I don't want to say it's Mystic Manor. Like, I want to say it's Mystic Manor because I love the attraction. It's unique. It's its own IP, but it's been so long since my heart and my sentiment and nostalgia would probably say the Haunted Mansion or even the People Mover, I know, in Disney World, but I really, really, really love Mystic Manor in Hong Kong. So Casey Cross, nice to see you. Long time no see. Angie says, if I can go on one Disney cruise, which ship would I choose? Right now, I would like to say the cruise that's leaving out of Japan in 2029. But if I had to go on one tomorrow, it would be on the Wonder. I love the venues on the Wonder. I love the French Quarter Lounge. I love Tiana's restaurant. And I just love the layout and the size of that ship. And I love the fact when that ship is in Alaska, it's the perfect place on the perfect ship. Have I considered another audio tour? So Drew, there was always in my mind. I'm a completist, and I don't sort of like to leave the audio tours dangling out there, quote unquote, incomplete. My plan was to do all of the parks and all of the resorts, and then as I was starting to create the audio tours, and I saw that the time that went into the research, the recording, the editing, the publishing and producing, all that, it really is almost like a year-long process from beginning to end. So if I was to do Epcot and give do an overarching history of Epcot 1, plus all the pavilions, all the countries in the World Showcase, that right there alone, if it took me a year, even if I cut it in half, even if it took me half a year, if I did nothing else and only did audio tours, it would still probably take me 8 years to get through Epcot, because I need to, and I know it sounds crazy, but even if it's 4 years, it's still a lot. So it would take me a decade to do all the parks. And I have so much else that I am juggling, that I am working on currently and for the future, both on the Disney side of things and on the Lou Mongello side of things. I got Momentum coming up in, I don't even say it's just a few weeks. So ideally I'd love to get them done. The format might change. I might sort of make those audio tours almost more like mini episodes, like mini audio tours, and do them on, I just had an idea. Can I do that? Don't say this out loud, Mongello, don't do it. But can I do, and I've never done a solo episode of the show before, but can I do a solo episode of the show as sort of a walking, God, the research I would have to do is still crazy in terms of scripting, because I'd want to do it right. No, I probably couldn't, but we'll see. We will see. Am I going to the baseball game ahead of D23? Chandler, I can't. I'm getting in Wednesday. I go right to set up, and I've got a couple of other commitments on Wednesday and Thursday. So I would love to go. I'd love to go to all of the pre-expo events that D23 is holding, but unfortunately just my schedule, leaving Florida and getting into California just does not afford me the opportunity. Let me catch up here. Palo brunch or Enchanté brunch? My answer, Andrew, is Palo pre-COVID brunch, when they had the big table in the middle and the wheel of cheese. I may or may not have brought home pocket cheese before. I have not done Enchanté brunch yet, so it's hard for me to speak to it. I do like the Palo experience better than I like the Enchanté experience, but I admittedly have only done it once, and I've not done brunch yet. Once I do, maybe when we get on the treasure, I can better answer that question. But if somebody's on Enchanté brunch, I welcome your input as well. Will Epcot ever get a front entrance resort? Vero Mikes, I know there was a rumor years ago from a very limited number of sources, and then I think other folks just sort of jumped on that bandwagon. I'm not sure that was ever stamp on the blueprint reality. I think you have a better chance of a back of the park resort in what might be an extension of World Showcase, which I know there were plans for many, many moons ago. Will Wonders of Life be brought back to life? Yeah, it's not going to be the Play Pavilion, but I do think this year, I think we're going to get an answer in terms of what is going to happen to that space. I'm not sure that demolishing that pavilion is out of the question, because you are sort of limited by the size and design of it, but we got 2 weeks to find out what they have in store. Drew Pike says Kermit's Banjo. That's nice. My favorite event at the parks in Orlando. So you're probably saying, well, it's Lou. He's going to say food and wine, which I would not. It really comes down to, is it Flower and Garden, which I think has eclipsed food and wine for me, or Not So Scary, or Very Merry Christmas? Because my favorite event is usually the one that I'm at. Like when I'm at Very Not So Scary, it's like my favorite event of the year because I love Halloween. I love like the music and the Gravediggers, and I love the music. And then I get to Christmas, and I'm like, oh, this is like the most magical time of the year. And Santa's here, and presents, and the parade, and like the snow, and like the smells. So my answer is I don't know. My answer really is that like it's the festival that I am at, but if I could only pick to attend one, gosh. God, I do love Christmas in the parks. I do love Christmas in Magic Kingdom. But I also really, really, really love Flower and Garden because, food. Flower and Christmas. I Very Merry Christmas party. There you go. That's it. I'm going to plant my flag. Let me see. Tim Moore says, if Deadpool is a walk-around character, can other Fox IP be used too? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia character. Tim Moore, it's interesting that, we talked about it on our show a couple weeks ago with Becky and the Woolies, and I think it was there, or maybe it was on the live show that I made a joke about like Planet of the Apes land in Walt Disney World. Like there are some great franchises that you can leverage if you want to bring in Fox IP in the parks. You give me like an immersive Planet of the Apes land, you maniacs, you blew it up. Maybe not those Planet of the Apes, but the current franchise and films, which are wildly popular, really, really well done. The reboot, especially the last Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, was outstandingly good. But I do think there is that possibility. Like, and why have they not leveraged or leaned into some of those other properties yet? That will be interesting to see. So Giovanni says, what's my favorite resort and why? Giovanni, it's the favorite kid question, right? Like deep down we have a favorite, but we don't want to say it out loud. I love Wilderness Lodge. I think Wilderness Lodge gives you like the perfect blend of like size, amenities, dining, escapism, views, like access to Magic Kingdom, being on the water. I would love to see and stay in one of the cabins one time, but even not, like there's so much to love about that resort. And I think that resort, almost more than any other, helps me feel like I'm no longer in like a theme park when I'm there. So, okay, that's my answer. I won't even be wishy-washy about it. I'll say Wilderness Lodge. I want to give you honorable mentions, but I won't because I'm trying to be honest to the answer. Let's see. Let me quickly go. The first thing I see from Becky is I would literally punch him in the stomach. Why is she so angry and violent? Like, I'm starting to feel threatened. I feel litigation happen. What did I do now? Let me scroll back. Oh, he was just about to reveal the balloon decoration for D20. Oh, once she logs back out, I'll reveal it. Don't worry. I have pages and pages of stuff that I want to reveal. So as soon as Becky's gone, I'll be sure to do that. All right, let me see. Let me quickly scroll through. Do I think they will present definite plans for D23 Park's future or more Blue Sky? Kimberly, if they only present Blue Sky ideas, there will be riots outside the Honda Center. Like cats and dogs living together, chaos and anarchy coming. The fandom will explode Fandom will explode. It is a non-negotiable. It is a non-negotiable. They absolutely have to give, not just like paying off the blue sky ideas from 2022, but paying off new concepts that they have not even talked about yet. I think there is a lot of pressure on Disney this year. So, Christine Morrison, you have not been here live in a minute. It is very good to see you. Carol says, staying in a cabin at Wilderness Lodge is on my new bucket list. Not having been able to stay in the main building. My favorite Lost character, Dr. Gamer. You know, I really, really like John Locke. Like, he was so, like, dedicated and passionate to the island. He was always dealt, like, unfair hands and that, like, throughout his entire life. There's a lot to... He's a very sympathetic character for me. I love the whole man of science, man of faith debate with him and Jack. So yeah, and the only thing I wish that we could have. I wish Mr. Echo would not have left the show, and I can't pronounce the actor's name, Adewale, whatever his last name is. I wish he would not have left the show because he was supposed to have a much more prominent role, and I wish the actor who played Walt did not hit puberty when he did, so that we could have gotten the story of Walt that they originally planned on telling and then just couldn't, really just because he sort of aged out of where he was. So do I think ESPN will be sold? Mike, I think it is, and I know especially now with sort of the sports betting that is sort of given a little bit of lifeblood, I would not be upset if Disney got out of the sports industry, if they sold off some of the overseas as well as the domestic sports stuff. And I'm a sports guy. I love football, but I just don't think, I think the landscape has changed. I don't think that's where maybe their strengths lie, and they can do other things with that. I don't know if you can sell ESPN right now. I don't know if you get the value for ESPN that you would need. So, Jeff C. says, I know you're not a sweets guy, but if you have to impress a visiting celebrity pastry chef who's never been to Disney, what's the first dessert you would take him to? Honestly, if the blueberry cheesecake at Boathouse was still there, it is... If you look up perfect dessert, comma perfect in the dictionary, it will say, see Boathouse blueberry cheesecake with those coffee cake crumbles on top. If you take that out of the equation, maybe I need to do a top, somebody please write this down and email this to me. I think I need to do a top 10 desserts at Walt Disney World and do a little bit of research and bring in an expert. Like, I need to find... I already know where I'm going with this. I'll write this down. Top 10 desserts. I already know who I'm going to tap into for that, and I will reach out to this person as soon as the show is over, because I like that idea. But I need to do a lot of research fast. If only there was anybody, never mind. Let's see. Desmond or Sawyer? Desmond. I like Desmond. I like Desmond a lot. Desmond too. Like, the guy had a good heart. He was always well-intentioned, whether it was with Penny, whether it was the island, whether it was with, like, whoever he was trying to help. Like, I think Desmond has a really, really good heart. So I think Sawyer does too, but he's, I could see myself, being friends with Desmond. Because this is like what we do, right? We imagine like being friends with fictional characters. I can see myself being friends with Desmond and like sort of having like deep conversation with Desmond. Maybe not as much with Sawyer. A little attitude-y for me. But favorite food you can get at Disneyland, which you can't get at Walt Disney World. Hello, Cozy Cones. My name is Lou Mangello. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance once again. And the chimichanga. Give me a chimichanga and a cozy cone all day. I have one in each park. There you go. Give me a chimichanga. It's not, you can't necessarily get it in the hub anymore, but give me a chimichanga in Disneyland. Give me a cozy cone in Disney California Adventure. This would be a happy, happy man. So Christine says, I'm watching Lost with my son. I love it. Only on episode 4. The first season is so good. Fun to see my son's predictions. It is to this day my favorite drama ever. Nothing compares. Nothing Compares to You is the song I sing to Lost all the time. Lost for me is far and away my top TV show ever. I said I was going to do this last week. I'm going to do it right now. My top 5 TV shows ever in some semblance of order. Number 1 is Lost. Number 2 is Seinfeld. Number 3 is probably Battlestar Galactica, the 2004. It is not a show about spaceships and Cylons. It is such a fantastic, character-driven, political, human, emotional drama. It's amazing. It is so, so, so good. Gilligan's Island, which is a joke, but I loved it so much as a kid. What would be my 4th and 5th? What are my sort of go-to TV shows? I have to fill in 4 and 5. But there's my top 3. There's very clearly, I'm looking around my room, what else? I can't say it's, I really love Daredevil, but I wouldn't count that as a TV show. I don't know. I have to think about that. Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley back to back on Tuesday nights at ABC. Let's see. All right, let me scroll on. Jeff C says I'm your Huckleberry. I did get a chance to stay at Shades of Green. I have now stayed at every Walt Disney World resort on property, not including all the Good Neighbor hotels. That's sort of the asterisk. But I was somebody was kind enough to make a Shades of Green reservation for me, I think last year, and I did a show about it. If somebody can quickly look that up for me, I did a show about my stay at Shades of Green. Let's see. Let me see. I have a question. I've been wanting to work for Walt Disney World for a long time. I have family that work there, but I'm afraid that I'll lose the magic. I've been going there for years now with my family. Joshua, that's actually a great question. And I've heard this question asked and answered from a lot of different people. And I think it really depends on you. I think there is the possibility that when you work for Disney, which at the end of the day is a corporation, right? You run the risk of when that shell, when that wonderfully thick and beautiful hard candy shell of magic on the outside starts to crack a little bit, and you see sort of what it's like, because it is a corporation, right? That's in the business of making money, that has corporate politics, that has all the things that any other corporation has. It might tarnish that magic for you. Now, there's other people I know that has not happened to literally after working there for decades. So they still go to work, with that same wide-eyed, sense of excitement, and that magic does not tarnish for them. So it really is dependent on you, maybe your role, right? Your position, and as well as your individual experience. I don't know that I would ever want to run that risk. There have been opportunities in the past where, I may have been able to sort of take on a more official role, and it's just never been the right choice for me, because you do run that risk. Right? You absolutely do run that risk. So, let's see. Best location to watch nighttime fireworks not in a park, the Polynesian Village Resort Beach. Period. I think it's you get the closest view with the piped in music. There are other locations where you can see the tops of fireworks from sometimes multiple parks at once. But I don't think it's the same thing as being able to have the water in the foreground, the castle off in the distance, and see the tops of those fireworks. You could also make an argument for the top of the Contemporary too. I think if you go to California Grill, there are two outside balconies, and I actually think one affords a much better view than the other. So, let's see. Let me quickly go. Moonlight XAG says English or Spanish. I have a tough enough time with the English language, let alone Spanish. Marianne or Ginger? Marianne. Like, I think if I like. Who would be the girl I'd want to bring home to mom and like spend every day with and like wake up in my little like hut next to? It would be Marianne. Wouldn't it? Yes. Yes, it would. That's a weird question, man. But yes. Let's see. What is the first thing someone should do if it's their first time in Disneyland, not food related? Angie, this is the lamest answer, but it's the honest answer. I think you have to walk into Disneyland and be like very intentional, like very slowly. I know this is such a dumb answer, but this was what I did and it mattered. Like, understand where you are, like understand like the importance of Walt, what it took to build that place, like the history that is there. And as you turn that corner, because you should enter into the right-hand side, because I just think that's the right way to do it. You enter on the right, and as you turn that corner and you get that first glimpse of the castle, like I think you just need to just stand there and like just take it in, and then close your eyes. I know, I'm a sap. Like close your eyes and just listen. Listen to the sound of the background music. Listen to the sound of the clopping of the horses. Listen to the sound of the train whistle. Listen to the sound of children laughing, and just like understand like the vision and the risk and everything that it took to make that place a reality. And that was built, like they built it in a year. Like that's craziness. And there is like the first time I walked onto Disneyland, I was by myself. It sort of got me right there. It still does. It still does. Is there a trip coming about that I am most excited about? So, gosh, Alexa, like I am looking forward to all the trips. And I know that's a lame answer. I love the Disneyland ABD. I fell in love with river cruising. So we have our river cruise on the Seine in September. We've got our 2 cruises coming up. We've got the Magic. We've got the Treasure coming up. But all that being said, like, take me back to Japan. Japan is just, it is a special place. The Adventures by Disney to Japan is, for me, far and away the best, like, overseas experience I have ever had. Between the country itself, the culture, the people, and the way Adventures by Disney does it, that is really the one that I'm excited for a lot of reasons, just a lot of like personal reasons. I'm really looking forward to that, and I think we have one room left for Japan, so it is going to be a lot of fun. But it is a gift to be able to travel and do these adventures together. Christine Morrison, yes, my son and I do. My son and I watch so he loves a lot of it. We've watched, it's a couple of months ago, we watched all of Attack on Titan. We just watched Spirited Away. What's next on our list? We were just talking about this today. Actually, we were just talking about this today. Like, what's sort of our like late night weekend movie that he and I watched together? It's going to be another Miyazaki movie. I can't remember which one we ended up. It might be Howl's Moving Castle. Might be the next one that we're looking forward to. So, Deb Gallo, I was never a big MASH fan. I don't know why. I did not love, and I was severely traumatized as a kid by the chicken in the back of the bus episode, which was not a chicken. All the decades later, like that still was very haunting to me. So, When are we going to do a live watch party for a Goofy movie? I literally was thinking about that today. I'm like, when can I sort of squeeze this into our nation schedule? I promise it's going to be soon. I promise it's going to be soon. But I want to make sure, I need to be fully there. I'm going to have snacks. Want to make sure we can get as many people as possible to from the nation to sit down and watch it together. Let's see. What is my favorite piece on the wall behind me? Oh, Matthew Woolley, that's a great question. That's so tough. That is so tough. So this is Spider-Man 700, which a friend was incredibly kind enough to put my name and WDW Radio in that issue. Another friend, it's hard to see because it's a little dark back there, but it's the WDW Radio logo. Let's see if I can make it a little bit brighter. It's the WDW Radio logo and URL, hand carved and stained into wood that he got. I'm going to get this wrong. I think he got it from Kenya and brought it over here, incredibly generous and incredibly kind. And he gave it to me at the boathouse. And so that has meaning to me. The map does too. This is a map from 1973. So I remember going back with my family. This is my original Han Solo blaster from it was mine. It was the one that I had as a kid that I preserved for years. I love my Samurai Mickey. I'm not a huge, you see, there's not a lot of Disney stuff back there, but I love my Samurai Mickey. This is a Haunted Mansion bat stanchion. You can't see this here, but it's my only graded comic. It is a Daredevil comic that my son bought for me when we were at New York Comic Con together. He knew I wanted this issue because it's a beautiful cover that has the scales of justice. Daredevil was Matt Murdock as an attorney. So he bought it for me. He was like, "Oh, Dad, I'm going to run to the bathroom." And he ran off and he found a copy of this, the best copy he could find. And then we sent it off right there and got it graded. So that has meaning to me because it's something that he bought. I'm going to cry. He bought it with his own money because he knew it would make me happy. So it's not the comic book. It's what the comic book represents. So I know I'm a dope. I'm a sappy guy. What else? I've got let's see if I can do this. There's some stuff here. You can't see it, but I have a Haunted Mansion. Maybe I can get it. This is one of my oldest collectibles. It is a Haunted Mansion secret panel chest box, as you can see from Walt Disney World. They made a Disneyland version and a Walt Disney World, and these are the old sort of Japanese mystery puzzle boxes that you have to sort of move things around in order to. I don't want to do it because it's a little fragile, but I've had this since I was a little kid, and it's in perfect condition. The stickers are still on it, the wood is still clean and not dried out, and yes, there's something inside. I've got some books and some other things that people gave me. So Matthew, that's I answered. I just basically told you everything that I have back there, but those are some of the things that mean the most to me. So, let's see. Jeff C. actually agrees with me and says it's a great point to pause and soak it in. I actually think I appreciate it more as I'm older. That's what Jeff did when we went to Nobu for the first time. He just stood there in awe as we walked in. And I was like, "Jeff, you need to move out of the way. There's other people that want to sit." And he sat there at the table with his mouth. His mouth was open except while he was chewing. But yeah, that was that same sort of sense of awe and wonder that he had. Becky Menken says we have not one, but 2 rooms left for Japan. So if you are interested and want to get a free quote, not from Becky directly, but from Mouse Fan Travel, you can visit www.com/Japan25. Let's see. Becky says 1 room left for Southern California. So we do have a second date for Southern California. She says one room is left for Disneyland July 6th through the 11th. So, let's see. Spirited Away, Karen, Spirited Away it's an interesting flick, man. You got to sort of buy into what is going on there. Like with a lot of anime, I think too. It's not necessarily. It's not sort of a traditional 3-act play, so it could be a little weird, but very well done, beautifully drawn, and yeah, it's absolutely worth watching. So tonight, my son wanted to watch that. Tonight he wanted to watch, which I don't have time, but he wanted to watch Seven Samurai. So who's ever seen Seven Samurai? Anybody? I watched it eons ago, but Seven Samurai it was Star Wars before it was Star Wars. So, let's see. Mike says, I highly recommend One Piece. Attack on Titan was also good. It was just my son's birthday this past weekend, and I got him this very cool, like, I got it from Japan, like this Eren Yeager statue, that he was very surprised and fortunately very happy to see, because I couldn't return it to Japan. Let's see. Dufresne says, hey Lou, years and years ago, I told you that you inspired me to move to Florida from the UK. It took me waiting on COVID, visa restrictions, promotions, a daughter, twin boys, but guess what? Tell me that you have moved. Tell me that now we are neighbors and hopefully we can get together and celebrate the move. What do I think about it? So we were huge Once Upon a Time fans when it first came out. I remember my daughter freaking the freak out at D23 Expo wanting to meet, what was her name? Dark hair. She was also in Lost, and I may or may not have had a crush on. God, I can't remember her name, but she was there, but yeah, we lasted a couple of seasons and then started to fall off. My favorite Star Wars movie is the first Star Wars. I know a lot of people think Empire. The first introduction, the backstory, it was so new. The memories of my dad, like I love the whole origin story thing. I loved Alec Guinness. I loved just the raw, gritty nature of that film. So I'm gonna say the original Star Wars. If I could build a new Disney park anywhere in the U.S., where would it be? You know, you run into the issue with weather on the East Coast in the North, which is part of the reason why a number of early concepts never came to be. It's why they sort of wrote that area off. So I don't know that you can. I think Disney's America would have been a very interesting concept had it been built in some form or fashion. But I think that's part of the problem, Darren, is where else do you build it that does not necessarily cannibalize from the other two parks? Like I don't think you can build a park in Texas. Because what are you going to build there that is going to be so different from the East and West Coast parks? I think my lame answer is going to be I would build, look, you've got the blessing of size here. They have not even used a quarter of the property that they have at their disposal. Again, a quarter of it also has been earmarked for conservation, but there is a lot of room left to build here. Brett Bowen says, did you ever think this is where you'd be in the year 2024? Brett Bowen, if you would have asked me, even when I started writing my first book, that in 2024 I would be living in Orlando, I would have told you were crazy. I'm like, I'm going to be in New Jersey and a lawyer forever. Or, like every Italian lawyer in New Jersey, I'll retire to Florida because that's what we do, but certainly not now. So never thought that my life would have taken this amazing turn and turns that they have. And yes, Suzanne Armstrong, I have not finished Shogun yet. I know. I'm trying. I went out of commission. I had some personal stuff this weekend, and then I actually hurt my back. So I've been out of commission since like Sunday, like bad. Like I hurt my back bad. Like literally right before, like seconds before I came on here, I was like doing stuff trying to just so I can like sit here for an hour or so. So I have not even been able to like lay on the couch comfortably to watch Shogun, but hopefully in the next couple of days, because I it is so well done, and it's a show that I need to be present. Like I'm watching it in Japanese with English subtitles, but it's so beautiful. Not just because I need to watch the subtitles, but it's so beautiful. Like I want to watch it almost again, so I'm not necessarily having to concentrate on the subtitles, and so well acted that I really want to sort of not be on my phone or not answering emails. I want to just do nothing but watch, which is very difficult for me sometime to do. Edward says, hello from behind Levi Stadium. Thank you very much for tuning in. How many times do I plan on seeing Deadpool? Right now, once. I am going into it excitedly optimistic that I will see it, that I want this to be the first Marvel movie since Endgame that I walk out and I buy tickets again. I have not, usually like for Endgame, I had multiple sets of tickets bought already, like before I saw it for the first time, because I knew I'm not there yet. Let's see if Deadpool delivers, which I hope and believe it will. Andrew says the Kurosawa Seven Samurai is an incredible piece of filmmaking history. I would love, it's probably not going to happen tonight, Andrew, but I would love to, like, I want to have that experience with my son watching. Same thing, like I told him, you can't watch that with your phone in your hand. Like you need to pay attention, one, because it's in Japanese and you have to watch with subtitles, but two, because you need to pay attention. We went to New York Comic Con last year, and for whatever reason, I was very grateful. I was invited by a PR firm to go to a Japanese cultural center and watch a screening of the original 1954 Godzilla, like in Japanese, like with my son. It was incredible to see like the original 35 millimeter like print of the film in this little theater, in this Japanese cultural center building. Yes, they had food and sushi like before and after too, but that's not the point. I don't know where I was going with the story, but so I loved being able to sort of watch that, watch these movies sort of in the original format that they were, and sort of being like super present. Let's see. Kyle Bollmeyer says, although I'm far, I feel right at home. You are, brother, no matter where you... Jennifer Goodwin. No, it wasn't Jennifer Goodwin. It was... Gosh, what was her name? A, B, C... I can see her face. I'll have to look it up later. I'm not thinking... Lana Parrilla. That's it. Stephen Wright. Ding, 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 ding. There you are. It was Lana Parrilla. So... If I could have lunch with any Imagineer, who would it be? Bruce Vaughn. Bruce Vaughn, a longtime Imagineer executive, brought back relatively recently, which I think was a brilliant move on the part of Disney. So I would love to sit down with Bruce Vaughn and talk about, I mean, he's not going to tell me anything, but talk about his career leading up to here, what it was. Like, I'd love to know what it was that they said to him to get him to come back. I think he's a massive creative force. I think he is leading the charge that is going to lead us to some of the announcements that we're going to get in a couple of weeks. Let me see. Let me quickly go up. Randall Jackson, this is a great question. What accomplishment are you most proud of in your Disney career? Wow. This is a hard question for me to answer because I don't like talking about myself. And so I don't look at this as my accomplishment, but I think it's the thing that I am most proud of. when you start to get older and you start thinking about words like legacy, like what you leave behind, like all this is just stuff, right? The podcast is just going to fade away and people will forget. But the thing that I think I am most proud to be a part of is this, not the live show, but the community, the family, the sense of belonging. It didn't matter if it was the discussion forums in 2003, Periscope in 2011, whatever it was, the box, the clubhouse, the Facebook group, wherever it is that we all exist and come together, whether it's in person, virtually, online. It is this thing, right? It is this family. And I know, community is a buzzword, but not to me. Like, this to me is the most meaningful thing because it doesn't impact just me. Like, my hope is that the community has had a positive impact on you. You found the community through the show. You found the community through the live video, social, whatever it might be. But I love this because I love watching the side conversations, right? I love that you all get together and have become friends with one another and cruise together and become friends and go to meets of the month and then go off in the parks together and have formed relationships with one another. Like, that's the definition of true community. That's the thing that I try and teach when I go to conferences. It's when I go to speak about the relationship economy, this is exactly what I am talking about. And I don't mean the economics and the financial ramifications of community, but the importance and the benefit of what real community looks like. And you are the shining example. So for me, that's the thing that, if God forbid I drop dead tomorrow, I hope that the community that you have built, that I am just fortunate to sort of pay witness to and sort of help sort of foster. I hope that you guys continue on wherever and however it may be. So that's the honest answer. Let's see. What Disney character? I thought it said Heartbreakers. It's Hotel Breakers. So I should bring back from Meet and Greet. I miss seeing Captain Hook in the park. So there's like childhood Lou Mongello that's thinking of, God, when's the last time you've seen like Foulfellow, like in the parks? Or I would love to see Wall-E. I'd love to see the Wall-E that we saw at Expo in 2011 or 13. I would love to see Wall-E come back. Let me see. Oh, Jeff C. So cool about Godzilla. You got to see the original King Kong and had Ray Harryhausen give a talk. That would have been amazing to see. And the stories that I can imagine. So, Jeff and all of you, as a kid, I loved the Adventures of Sinbad and the different movies that were Ray Harryhausen movies with the Cyclops. Like, I can see it. I can see that sort of Cyclops, like that jittery moving. But I loved, there was like the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. There were a couple other ones. Now you're going to make me go down this rabbit hole when I'm done. Dang it. But that's super cool that you got to actually see and hear from Ray Harryhausen. Let's see. Deborah Mickens, I remember starting on Periscope like days after it launched. I remember Meerkat? I was at a conference like the day Meerkat launched, and I remember going live. I think it was the same day that Meerkat, everyone's like, oh, Meerkat is going to be like the next big thing. And I was like, all right, I hopped on Periscope, and I'm like, listen, let's go give this Meerkat thing a try. The good old days of streaming when it was just like live streaming to one place and everybody was there and there was no algorithms. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Godzilla Minus One was an outstanding Japanese film. Especially if you could see it in theater. It's on Netflix now, but it was amazing to see that in the theater. David Kuhn's been an avid listener, fan since you've been a friend, not a fan, since 2009, dude. A decade and a half later, and you are still here. Thank you very much, brother. David, where are you watching from? Just out of curiosity. Chandler, I love the WDW community, and on behalf of the WDW Radio community, we love you too. Let me see. Love for Wally, Grease and Epcot, Clash of the Titans with, oh my God, I can see his Burgess Meredith and the Owl and Medusa and the long curly haired guy. Oh Lord, yeah, that guy. I loved my brother and I used to watch Clash of the Titans like over and over and over again. So, let's see. David was in law school back in 2009, and he is in Indy now. See, that's what I mean. Like, look at how long. All right, last question of the night. Last question of the night. When did you first find the show, become part of the community, start listening? Like, how long ago do you think that was? Debbie says, I remember the big deal of the 5-year anniversary. Oh, my God. Right? I remember we did the 5-year anniversary. We did like an 8-year anniversary, I think. Was the 8-year anniversary at Fort Wilderness? And somebody mentioned the other day, like, oh, what are you doing for show number 800? I'm like, I have no idea. But I now have 7 weeks to try. And Harry Hamlin, excellent. Bravo. Yeah, Harry Hamlin. Kyle is going to head out Uncle Sam's. Or Kyle, stay safe, brother. I will hopefully see you again soon. But last question before we go, because I've got to take care of this thing that's sitting right here. My wife went to an appearance I had in Borders in Mount Laurel, New Jersey for my book. Was that the one where I was with Steve and the Intrepid Traveler folks? And there was the 3 of us were up there at a sort of a collective signing that we all did. Or was Mount Laurel one that I did? God, that was that was eons ago. I joined the community after the conference where Lou used Meerkat, fall 2019. Morgan Emily says 2007. Stephen Wright back at the old Mouse Tunes podcast days. Whew. And you're still here? Brother, I appreciate that, man. That's a long, long time. Found the audio tours 10 years ago, started listening at 425, which is crazy that, there's been 350 plus episodes since. Cal says, I feel like a newbie, been listening to the podcast for about 10 years. God, that's wild. Deb Gallo goes back to 2005. Chandler found the show at episode 10, ready to go back to EP. It's ready to go back to EP. I don't know what that means. Ash Basher, studying college 2006 and 2007. Been listening ever since. That is amazing. Thank you. Christine found it in 2017. My first listen was a preview of Flight of Passage. Randall was in 2011. Joshua 2 years ago. 2010. Matthew Woolley 5-6 years ago. Finally decided to try out a podcast. Search for the best Disney pod. Join the Box People and the Nation. Haven't looked back since. I first saw Lou Kino at a podcast movement. So that was like 2014. I still remember one of the first times I saw Jeff on stage talking about manly Pinterest, when we were Pinterest days, at Social Media Marketing World. This is like a romantic dream sequence. I remember I was like sitting in the back and I was like, who is this brilliant Adonis standing up there with that beard? And yeah, I just sort of dug what you were doing. I don't even know how we sort of connected after that, Jeff. I think I probably was I waiting in the wings for I think I waited outside for your autograph, like a little schoolgirl. I had like my little autograph book and I was like, Mr. C, can I please have your autograph? Or maybe it was through Eric. But yeah, that was a long, long time ago. Margot, 2005, 2006, Suzanne Armstrong, 2019, right before COVID. Really, yeah, COVID was an amazing time, how we all sort of came together and sort of helped each other through those times together. That Borders is now a AAA store. That was 18 years ago. Good Lord. Darlene met you at D23. Took us around with the people in the box, but for podcast was COVID and drives in the car. For calming that made us fall hard. Darlene, yes. Okay, now I know. Now I see I made your picture bigger. Now I see it was over sushi. Oh, it might have been over. Yeah, it might have been over sushi. Because I was like, who's the dude that's getting his stupid chopsticks in my sushi? And I remember our chopsticks crossed as we were reaching for that last piece of tuna. And there was a moment. It was tense, but we were able to work through it. And here we still are. So, and by the way, Jeff C., that same person who I saw up on that stage and gave like this amazing, I assume it was an amazing presentation. I fell asleep, but I saw him up on stage, is actually going to be back at Momentum. Jeff, how many times have you spoken at Momentum? It's got to be at least 4 times at Momentum. Jeff is coming back this year to Momentum. Actually, I just announced speakers and sessions yesterday, today, whatever it was. Jeff is coming back to talk about using AI. And I'm not just saying it because he's here, but he has given like killer sessions and workshops that have made huge differences in the businesses and brands for people who attend. If you're interested in coming to Momentum, here is a list of just some of the speakers and sessions that we have. There's still a lot more that we do during this event. And if you are a creator, a solopreneur, entrepreneur, if you're looking to start your business or grow your business, Momentum, and you can ask other people who've been there rather than me say it for you. It is a transformative weekend and event. And if you look down in the lower left-hand corner, you can save not $100, but $200 off your ticket. I think we are about 85%, 90% sold out now. So tickets are going to probably sell out relatively soon. If you're interested, visit LouMongello.com/momentum. Use code LOU200 to save $200. And if you have any questions, see if Momentum is right for you, reach out for me. It didn't mean for that to be a commercial, but Jeff C. is the one who made me think about it. All right, let me see. Melissa also been here since 2005. That is just awesome and wild and crazy, all at the same time. Jeff said this will be number 3. Chad says at least 11 years ago, kept me a happy place while going through a divorce. And Chad, I appreciate you being so open and with that, because it is part of the reason why, I love talking about the things that just make us happy about going to Disney. Nobody wants to hear me complain. Especially if you are looking to the podcast as a way to escape real life or crummy things that are going on in life, or you're bored at work, whatever it is, you don't want to hear somebody complaining about the things that they don't like or being negative. I want this to be sort of like a bright light in what can sometimes be a very, dark and negative world. So thank you very much for that. Jerry says you joined my Disney class at Walt Disney World in 2005 and a part of Professor Lou at Buena Vista University. Jerry, yeah, you've been so kind and so generous with not only letting me speak to and work with students in your class when you come to Walt Disney World and do tours and walk around in the parks and talk about storytelling, but inviting me out there a number of years ago to Storm Lake, Iowa, to chat with some of the students and see where all the magic takes place. So thank you very much for that, brother. Kim Peter says, I've been here since the very first show. So, wow, Kim, thank you for that. I would not, for all of you, I would not be here if it wasn't for you. And please don't ever think that that ever is lost on me. So whether I am here, I'm in the parks, I'm on a cruise, I'm at an event, you are there with me because I am grateful for the opportunity that you have given me. Sue says, this podcast has helped me join a community that literally introduced me to my best friend and gave me the best job ever. I love your optimism and attitude, Lou. Sue, thank you. And you and your family have been so kind to me for so many years. You've been so generous. And, each of us have watched our kids, grow up too fast, as it were. But it's why I love what you do, not just in your capacity as an advisor at Mouse Fan Travel, but just as a friend and member of this community. So Maureen says, I just emailed you pics of your book from Borders in 2006. No way. Wait, I have to quickly check and see. Oh my gosh. Wow. Thank you for that. That was my daughter when she was 5. My daughter is studying abroad in London right now. So she is a long way from being 5. So Kelly says, also in 2005, an original box person who attended the first D23 in the box. Anthony DeQuadro says, June 2011, top 10 best restaurants with the best ambiance. Caleb Joshua Hill discovered you 6 years ago. Thank you very much for that. Listen, all of you, thank you. Again, you may not realize the impact that you have had on at least one person, and by way of the ripple effect, many other people's lives. You have changed my life for the best. Oh, Sammy Grant, please don't make me end off crying. Sammy Grant I've known for a long time, and your husband was you look up good man in the dictionary, your husband was it. Jonathan has missed a lot, and I'm happy that we've been able to meet and become friends and do amazing things together. It's all Jonathan's fault in the most wonderful way. And all of this is your fault. All of you. Like the gift that you have given me, that you give me every single day with your friendship and listening. And like, I ask you all the time to like share the show. Like it's really helpful. Like that's the way we grow. It's the way we grow organically. It's the way that you continue to bring good people, not just to the show, but more importantly to the community and all the stuff that we get to do together. So Hotel Breaker says, this is my first time in a live show. Been listening for about 8 years. Thank you very much for being here. I really, really, really do appreciate each and every one of you. Again, this is what I mean. Like we hardly even talked about Disney stuff or Disney news, but this is what it means, just sort of being able to get together with friends on a Wednesday night. So thank you again for being here. This doesn't happen without you. And, I promise you that I will once again go to sleep as I do every night with a smile on my face and gratitude in my heart for you. Speaking of gratitude, Mouse Fan Travel, been a long, long time since, 17 years, been helping to keep the lights on and helping, more importantly, to help create magical memories and incredible experiences for you. So, of course, you can visit them over at mousefantravel.com. What am I forgetting? Probably a lot, but it doesn't matter. Again, I reminded you about the speakers and sessions for Momentum, which takes place this September 27th through the 29th. And listen, if you're not ready, if you don't think that you're ready for Momentum, but you want to take some of those first steps to turn what you love into what you do, I now have a mini course that is sent to you via email over 5 days to help you launch your dream business, to ideate, to launch, to grow. It is a great way to start taking those first steps to build momentum. And more importantly, it's only $7. There's worksheets every single day. There's videos, but it is a very simple, very easy to consume course, no matter where you are on your business journey or just to trying to create maybe a life that you, like me, like you get up excited every day for, and you hate going to sleep at night because you just love what you do so very much. So that is going to do it for tonight. I love and appreciate you. I am grateful to you for being here. Again, if you can, please share the show. Tell a friend. If you're listening over on Spotify, you can leave a comment. You can, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you can leave a rating and review and share out a link to your favorite episode. I'll be back. Will I be back again next week? Yes, we'll be back again next week before heading out to D23 Expo, the Ultimate Disney Fan event, the week after. And if there's ever anything that I can do for you, by all means, please let me know. Huge thanks again. Oh, I don't have it here, do I? No, there it is. Wait, no, there it is. Wait. Thanks to everybody who is a member of the WDW Radio Nation. Again, you talk about community, you talk about close friendships, and you talk about an incredible sense of support and doing good, because everything that you do for the nation helps us support our Dream Team project. So if you are a member of the nation, thank you so very much. If you want to find out how you can join for as little as $1 per month and get exclusive rewards every month, you can visit WDWRadioNation.com. Thank you again. I hope that you have an amazing week. I hope that you have an amazing night and an even better tomorrow. So until next time, I love you. I appreciate you. See ya. Come on, Lewis. This is where you're supposed to. There you go. You know what? I've been doing this. I've been live broadcasting every week since 2007. It's 17 years. One of these times I'm actually going to do it and not make a mistake and hit the right button. Bye.